Alrighty, so for this first classroom engagement strategy, I have chose to do a partner practice, and I have chose to do a card sort game. So, and I apologize for the writing already. I took a previous video and it just didn't turn out so good. So anyways, there'll be 5 group tables, as you can see, and they will work with a person right across from them each table, and I'll explain that to them as soon as they walk into school that day. And essentially how the card sort game works is I will have pre-made decks of cards already, and they will have definition, words, pictures on them, and the goal is to match them up, their partners in them, to match them up with each other. And there'll be dividers on each table, because I just think that's super helpful in the classroom setting when you do have partners. And I mean, these tables are kind of close together, and so I just think that it will help with that conversation and not butting into each other's conversations and getting less distracted. So the first thing I would do is explain to them that the person across from them will be their partner, and I will designate each person on the right of the table. So all of these people will be the person that comes up when I dismiss by table number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They will be the person that will come up and get the deck of cards for them and their partner. And I think this will be a good flow for the classroom, because not all the table will come up and get the supplies. And the only materials needed are the decks of cards that we'll have pre-made. I think this will take about 20 minutes. And I also think this is great because it blends well with the content standard, which is understanding the text and asking and answering questions. So they will be able to bounce off ideas off of each other by doing this card sort game, and they'll be able to better their knowledge, and they're asking questions to each other, so they're able to answer questions as well. And there'll just be several topics and ideas bouncing off of each other during this time. And I have these people are the ones, those students are the ones that have a learning disability. And so I did place them more up toward the front of the room, but also so that they can help each other out in that setting if they need. And I will be walking around during this time, making sure that students are doing what they're supposed to be doing. And then for the next classroom layout, it is more of just a standard squared layout. And I have the desk, 3 kids to a desk. And again, I did place the students with learning disabilities at the front so that it is easier for me to just see if they need help or if they have any questions or anything at all. For this group practice, I decided to do a gallery walk. And how this gallery walk will work is there will be pictures and problems, and there'll be 10 of them around the room, but I chose to do mostly this part, and then there'll be some on the smart board. And I realized after this that is not smart, because I'll just have to explain to my kids that they can't go in the teacher's desk because there will be things there. So I just don't think I will feel comfortable with my students being by my desk. So I should have probably switched something out with that. But they will be in groups of 6. So 1, 2, 3, and then 4, and then 5, and 6 students in each group. And then there will again be 10 stations. And the main idea of this group practice is I will pose a question or idea to the students and have them rotate and talk to their peers on what they think. And there'll be 2 designated jobs in each group, and I will have that listed on the smartboard, both the groups and the designated person with the assigned roles. And the assigned roles, one person will be like the recorder, and then the other person will help the recorder out and kind of like get the group's main ideas together so that it's easier on the person recording. And I will pass out pieces of paper to one table group so that they won't have to get up before our time. But as this will work is like I'll dismiss them by the group, and so this whole group will go first, and they get up, and they will all walk to the first place, and while everyone else is seated, and then this group will get up and walk. This is this group, and this group will combine over here. This group will combine because they're groups of 6. They'll come over here, and I think this will take about 40 minutes. And the reason I say that is because there will be 10 groups, and then they'll have 3 minutes at each station, and so that's 30 minutes, and then I'm giving them a minute in between stations to like move to the next station and get their group members together and get their thoughts together, and that's 40 minutes. I think that this is great for the standard that I will be teaching, because the standard is, again, understanding text and asking and answering questions. So they will be able to bounce off those ideas and those questions among their group members and talk to their peers, get them thinking, get them up, get their blood moving, hear what their peers have to say, and then they can also learn from them, which I think is really important, because the more thoughts and ideas that students have with each other, they can just bounce off that and hit the ground running with those thoughts. And as a teacher, I will just be walking around making sure that they are on task, and if they have any questions, I will help them. But yeah, they will be moving clockwise, and I will explain to them exactly what that means at the start of class, what it means to move clockwise. And I will have a timer set so they know exactly how long they have in between stations to get to the next station, and then how long they have at each station. So